There is this notion that if you study for long hours, you would do well and get the grades. That the only way to achieve great success is to put the hours in and that's it.
Tangent means what?
Touches.
Touches. You have the height, isn't it? What's the height?
10.
Yeah, it's 10, yeah. What do I not have though? This. Which is what I need to find, right?
So you're thinking right now, okay, I got it, cool. Red Bull, coffee, and long hours. Yes, I'm definitely going to get the grades. Mom and dad are going to be so proud of me. But hang on. If it was that simple, everyone would be getting the grades.
What's my base? Oh, all that hype from nothing. Base. Awkward.
29.
29.
Yeah, 29.
Just testing. 29. That's my area of the triangle.
I won't waste your time and tell you the answer right now. Should you study long hours to achieve the grade you want? Well, it depends. It's not a simple yes or no answer that you might be used to. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 insights why some of you might not need to study for long hours and why some of you might need to study for long hours. Hopefully at the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of what you need to do and get closer to achieving the goals that you want. The first insight is your learning style. Look, everyone is different. Some people might like short, focused study sessions. Others might like more immersive, longer study sessions. You need to figure out what works for you. Just because other people are doing short study sessions doesn't mean that you have to do short study sessions. Just because other people are doing longer hours on longer immersive study sessions, it doesn't mean that you have to do longer immersive study sessions. You have to understand what works for you. What is your learning style? And one way to figure that out is that when you're studying, whether it's long hours or short hours, figure out which one was more productive for you. Which one did you find got the best out of you, where you were able to retain the information, understand the information, and you were in a flow. That could basically mean, oh, if I work for 30 minutes or 35 minutes and take a 5-minute break, I'm really good, I can understand this, and it's effective. Or you might figure that, I need an hour or an hour and a half for me to really get the best out of it. You have to understand what works for you. You shouldn't look at what anyone else is doing. You have to figure out what works for your brain and what gets the best out of you. Your learning style is unique too. So if you find yourself studying for short, focused periods of time and that works for you, stick with it. Don't do what other people are doing. Don't look at, oh, this person is doing this, so I should be doing that. Don't feel guilty, because if it works for you and you know that, okay, I can understand everything here and I get the best productive work in these small sessions that I'm doing, then that's working for you. Don't change something that's not broken. Do what works for you, because the moment you do that and you stick to what works for you, you will see that everything is just flowing, everything just connects, everything is more easier for you to digest and learn. The problem that a lot of people have is that they look at what someone else is doing and they think that, oh, I have to do that. But they don't realize that what the other person is doing works for them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. So again, understand your learning style. What is it for you? Is it short, focused time, or is it long, immersive time? Figure that part first, and then you'll be able to do the next steps.
Right, let's just do the equation of tangent part 2. Does anyone, probably not, because you guys are from the reality and not virtual. Do you guys use study with me videos?
They do it in school.
They do it in school, and they put Pomodoro music in the background. That's what I said.
What's Pomodoro music?
You know what I mean, huh? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna obliterate. Thank you. English was never my forte. Obliterate everyone else that's saying study with me, and I'm going to be doing study with us. But the whole point is then for example, you're studying at home, you're feeling the pressure, study with us, you see the classroom, the music, 45 minutes you work, 10 minutes break where it's all that natural sound and everything, and then you go back again. So we have this circle, right? Tangent means what?
The line. Touches.
Touches. Just touches it. Just touches here, right? So that's 4, 10. You have the height, isn't it? What's the height?
10.
Yeah, it's 10, yeah. What do I not have though?
Base.
Which is what I need to find, right? What gradient do I actually want? Where's the Surya? Tell me. Are you sure? Perpendicular gradient, isn't it? What's my base? Oh, all that hype from nothing. Base. Awkward.
29.
29.
Yeah, 29.
Just testing. 29. That's my area of the triangle. What you were doing, essentially, you're doing everything that we did last week. Find the equation of the line, and then put y equals 0 in the equation of the line to find x. And that's your base. Then you just do base times height times half. That is it. These goes for 5 marks.
The second insight is a subject difficulty. There are going to be subjects where it requires more time, more effort for you to understand the concepts and the methods and the theory behind it. That's just part of it, right? Like for example, maybe maths might require you to understand more of the concepts and then how to apply those concepts, whereas maybe chemistry or biology is easier or geography is easier. Again, this is very unique to the individual. Some people might find maths very easy. Some people might find maths a lot harder. So again, it all depends on how you process the information and the subjects that you're learning. Again, I don't want you to think there's a certain amount of hours you need to do. I think you need to get rid of that. You need to think about, okay, do I understand what I'm learning and am I covering that? And that could take me 2 hours, that could take me 30 minutes, that could take me 3 hours. Don't put a time limit. Make sure you understand what you're learning. That's very, very important, because once you understand what you're learning and you're understanding how you're applying those things that you've learned, it becomes a lot easier. But if you put yourself a time frame and say, oh, I need to do this in 30 minutes or I need to do this in 1 hour, it's good. To a certain extent, it's good. But how much have you actually understood what you're learning? Prioritize the subjects as well based on their level of difficulty. If a subject requires you to do more work, understand proportionally it's going to require more time for me to understand this, which means I'm going to have to put more work. If a subject doesn't require that much and I'm also pretty good at it, then naturally it means that I'm not going to need to put as much time. So it's a bit of really just being flexible with what you're doing and don't have a strict, regimented way of doing things, because if you do, you're not going to adapt. And if you're not going to adapt, you're going to struggle to be able to change when things needs to be changed and when you need to put more time or put less time. Be flexible, be like water, right? I don't know if that's a good analogy, but you know, there's going to be times where I'm going to need a bit more time to understand this. There's going to be times where it's like, oh, I understood this in 30 minutes. Okay, cool, done. Look at it from the lens of, do I understand what I'm learning? As long as you understand it and can apply it and are getting the questions right, that's the most important thing.
They thought Mitra was going to be a doctor.
Is it Nitro?
Yeah. You call her Mitra.
I call her Mitra all these years. So why didn't she change it when I...
Same with me. You call me Umila. My name's Amila.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. But Mitra, I never... Okay, she would know that there's something changed when I called her that next week. Mitra. Did I tell you, I called another person by his dad's name all these years. What was his name? He was just finishing A-levels and about to go to university. He tells me then, so you've been calling my name for 4 years. Say 5 years. Okay, let's go around. I'm stuck. What was your equation of the line?
Y equals negative half x plus 10. I got y equals
Negative half x plus 10. So if you got negative half x plus 10, y is 0, half x equals 10, so x is equal to 20. Was it 20x? Yeah. What was the c value? What did you get for your c value?
10.
You got c10, you got minus 10. Half times base times height, right? So why did you just do 20 times 8?
20 times 8 divided by 2.
What happened to your height? Oh, what? 20 times 106? No, she did the same thing.
Oh, wait.
Oh my days. Very good. Preparation for the exams.
The third insight is attention span. This is an interesting one because people tend to think that when you're in a classroom and you're studying with other students, you should have the same attention span as everyone else. But it doesn't work that way. Everyone is wired differently. Some of you might have a short attention span. Some of you might have a long attention span. Again, it goes back to understanding yourself. It goes back to you being self-aware of what works for you and what doesn't work for you. If you have a short attention span, you should know, okay, I can't study for long periods, so I need to break that down. I need to do 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and then I have a break because my attention span is low and I know I'm gonna get distracted by so many other things. If you have a longer attention span, then you should know, okay, hold up, I can concentrate for longer periods. So that basically means I can increase my hours to study, or I can focus more, which means that my time can elongate, if that makes sense. It goes back to what works for you. How does your brain work? How is your brain wired? These are things that you need to understand and you need to know. And again, this is all trial and error. Like nothing is gonna work the first time, okay? The first time you're gonna do it, maybe a couple of weeks, you're gonna realize, okay, I can't do it for this long because I just can't concentrate. So that's fine. not a problem. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means that this doesn't work and I need to alter it. I need to change it. That's all it means. But one thing I would say with attention span is this. If you are studying in an environment where you have a lot of distractions, and what I mean by distractions is you have your tablet open, your computer open, you have your phone. Listen, you have no excuses. Those are typical distractions that will reduce your attention span even more. You need to remove yourself from that. If you have those distractions right in front of you, how is your attention span going to increase? It's not, right? So you also have to understand that the environment that you're studying in should have no distractions. Because when you have no distractions, well, you can focus for longer periods of time. You will be able to study for longer periods of time. You will be able to understand. Your quality of work increases. That's a big, big thing. I'm not bringing people down, or I'm not trying to say that if you're low attention span, it's not good. What I'm trying to make sure that you understand is that if your attention span is low, what are you doing to minimize the external factors that will increase that attention span? Small things like phone. Okay, why is your phone next to you? If your phone is next to you, put your phone in another room, right? Which means that you're gonna have to get up to go and check your phone, and you're not gonna do that eventually because you'll be like, you know what, it's too long. You have to create friction. Think about it, right? If you have those things open and you're doing it, your attention span is not gonna increase. It's just gonna reduce, and you're not gonna focus, and your quality of work is not gonna be great. So if you are already studying in an environment where you have distractions, remove it. If you're studying at home and your family is loud, for example, family stuff, that's fine, that's normal. Study in the library. Study in the school library, study at the university library, study in a place where it's quiet. Because I guarantee you, when your environment is right, your attention span will increase and your focus will also increase. But if your environment is wrong, if you already had a low attention span, that attention span is just going to reduce even more.
Drew, what did you get for the first one? Okay, what do you need help on? Drew, when I go through the example, what do you do? How do you find the gradient?
It's like, you have to get the triangle.
Yes.
Your height of your base.
Cool, so what would that be? 8 divided by 4, which is what? What's the reciprocal of 2?
A half.
Minus a half. So I have minus half as my gradient. I have the coordinate 4, 8. Can I find the equation of the line? Using y equals mx plus c.
You actually 4, right?
Yeah, x is 4, y is 8. You've got your gradient now. You could put that in the equation of y equals mx plus c, isn't it?
Yeah.
So find the equation of that line. Once you get that, put y equals 0, so you can find your base, which is x. And then that base, you can just put it back in half times base times height.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah, if you don't, Drew, when I go through the example, if you don't follow through, you have to ask me.
Okay.
Yes. What is it? Umila. You want a toaster?
Hand sanitizer.
It's really bad for you. It's aloe hand gel.
Thank you. No.
Oh. Anyone else want? You want some as well? Why not? Yeah. You want some as well? Anyone else? It's been 1 hour. Looking at what are you doing? Okay, we also was asking, Serena, what was it yet? You said you what? How's it smell? Nice.
Yeah.
It's aloe vera. I told you it's strong. Yeah, I think it's meant to be 1, 2, 3, 4, but I like to skip from 1, 2, 4, 5. Interesting. Why do you want to go here? You fancy the open day? Lourdes. Oh, this is nice. France. 12,800 books and other resources. Yeah, but that could also be online. Wi-Fi access for all students. You can have Wi-Fi in Costa as well. It's no big deal. 3,000. What?
Now, what school is it?
It's the school that I'm building. Doing the prospectus. First chances.
No,
Academy.
it's in London.
You're gonna go there as well. It can mean Sylvia.
You
She's.
said your voice the
What language is she speaking? What language? That was English. Wow. What'd you get? For the area? I think a negative area. Was it 85 over 3? I don't think so. Take away the minus, it'll be 85 over 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't, you can't have a negative area, right? Oh, this EPQ stuff, is it?
Then project.
I know what it stands for. Yeah. It's up to you. If you're an independent learner, go to a college, it's fine. If not, then stay with school.
The fourth insight is quality versus quantity. This debate is forever going, right? People say, oh, I spend 10 hours studying and I've done this. Okay, right, you spent 10 hours studying. How much of that 10 hours was actually you studying and quality studying? There's no way you could have spent 10 hours working consistently, studying consistently, staying focused consistently for those 10 hours. There's no way. It's just the brain it can't do that. It's complete rubbish. That brings back the argument of quality versus quantity. What works? And the way I would look at it is it's both. It's actually both. Like if you can have quality with quantity, that's the best combination. And that doesn't mean you have to work for long hours all the time. It just means that maybe in that 2 hours, you put the quality work, you put the quality focus, you get that quality productiveness in those 2 hours. What you realize is you can do something in 2 hours where someone would probably spend 6, 8, 10 hours to do, but you've done it in 2 hours. Why? Because your mind was focused. It was tunnel vision for those 2 hours. And that 2 hours was an equivalent for someone else who was doing 10 hours, but probably that person who was doing 10 hours was like, okay, I'm doing 1 hour and then I'm gonna just take a 15-minute break on YouTube, and then I'm gonna do another hour, and then I'm gonna take a 30 minutes and I'm gonna have lunch, and all those distractions, and I'm gonna message and all that. That's not 10 hours of studying. That's not 10 hours of work, right? So you have to take everything with a pinch of salt from what you hear from people. You make sure that you do your bit. That's all. Of course, quality is more important, but if you can do quality with quantity, not so much quantity, but enough quantity, you're good. You're fine. Like I said, you could just be doing something for 2.5 hours and you get most of the work done. Like there's this kind of notion that people think that, oh, if you haven't studied for long, that means you really haven't studied, like if you haven't put the hours in. And I disagree with that, because I'll tell you this from experience, right? When I'm teaching maths to students, sometimes even with A-level maths and even of the high type of maths, it would take them maybe 10, 15 minutes to try and understand the question and how to answer it. And when I look at it, for example, and again, I'm not trying to be arrogant or cocky, I'll tell you why I'm saying this. When I look at it, I know what to do within 2 minutes. Why is that the case? Now you might be saying, oh yeah, but you got experience. Okay, I got experience. How did I get that experience? From quality. Because I put the quality work at the beginning, I don't need to put quantity now, because quality just oozes, if that makes sense, right? Like I've done the work, I understood the work, which means now I can do the questions a lot quicker, whereas someone else might take longer.
Before, do you have a gradient?
Where's G at? So what is 0?
0x.
Yes. If it was it, we stop on? 2. Okay. Which bit do you not understand?
What?
You said 2. Which bit do you understand? I just thought you guys got a similar voice. Okay, which one do you stop on? Nathan?
I'm not stuck.
You not stop? You guys stop? No? Yeah, what's that? What is it? You're capped. What does that mean? A tap. Sorry, what does tap mean? Who comes up with these words? You must be stupid as well. You say that to your parents. So what's the opposite of tapped? No, what's your slang word for that? G.
No.
You're a G.
No, you're a geek.
Oh, that one. That's quite smart though, to be fair. Neek and geek. Was it neek, nerd and geek? Right. Yeah, sure, go on. Yeah, that's fine. Even if the value is negative, all it's telling you is just how far it's going across, in what direction. So when you find the area, you don't need to put the negative in it. If we move minus half x to the other side, it's half x equals minus 15 over 2. So x is what? It's a negative value.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the question? Right.
Listen, that has gone. Everyone has already known about this.
I'm on question 3.
Yeah, but if you want to have your moment of like, you don't know how to do maths, it's already been said, so it's past. 3 is 4.
Yeah.
4 is 3.
I think I know this one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so Drew, did you original gradient 5 over minus 3, reciprocal 3 over 5?
Oh, so it's minus 0.6.
Yes, but keep it as a fraction, not decimal.
Okay, I got that.
And then find the equation of the line based on that. Just as you guys are curious about my life, I'm curious about these people that you have.
Tell us anything.
I do tell. I do. What do you mean? Yeah, don't give me that. Yeah.
Who dropped the coffee off?
A person.
Which person?
They tell me who that she is, then I'll tell her who the person is.
Say anything. 0.6x.
Why are you doing decimal? Give it to me in fraction, not decimal. Write in fraction when you do equations of line. You don't write in decimal for equations of line. It's not good practice. in fraction it looks neater and it looks just more visually pleasing. I think, Dean, you're just very interested in my personal life. That's all it is. I don't think anyone else is, but you are. My personal life is very boring. It's not entertaining, trust me. What do? I wake up, brush my teeth, eat kiwi with the skin, drink my beetroot juice, get to work. That's it. That's my life. And also working on a lot of things other than that. Someone's got sweets for us. Can we have some as well, please? We'll appreciate it very much.
And this is why it goes back to the argument of quality and quantity. If you're able to put the quality work in the beginning, not only do you understand what you're learning, but you're able to not having to go back at it again because you remember it. That's very, very important. So don't get in this kind of worry or anxiety that, oh, you know, if you haven't worked enough hours that you're gonna fail. It just doesn't work that way. Remove your mind from that. If you remove your mind from that and just think about, okay, am I putting the quality work? Have I got no distractions? Am I in an environment where I can stay focused for the period of time that I need to stay focused on? If I can, good. This is what's going to help me achieve what I need to achieve.